Hello, everyone. It's very good to be with you tonight on Maundy, Thursday. I'd rather be in church, as you would too, but again, we're making the best of what we've got. You know, lately I find it somewhat difficult to stick with a lot of the things on videos on my computer. You know, I'm watching liturgies, hymns being sung, Compline, morning prayer, and I'm finding that I can't see them through. And it isn't for lack of love of God or of the words and the rituals, but rather I'm just feeling a bit lost, you know, as if this is enough now. I've had enough of the pandemic now. Make it stop and let's go back to our church. You know, I'm getting a little irritable with that. I want to go back. And I'm sure that's pretty true of many of you as well. Most of you, I think, if not all. So anyway, having said that, I want to make sure that you all are able to get through this video, so I will try to keep it shorter and keep your interest as best I can. So I was thinking about Maundy, Thursday, and it is a beautiful liturgy, the highlight of which is the foot washing. And I cannot help but think that the disciples, when they came to have their last meal with Jesus, had washed their feet before going in the building. This was a common practice before you go to eat. Either the host will wash your feet or a servant will. So I was thinking about, why would Jesus wash their feet? Because they had to have already done it. And I think that probably accounts for the surprise that the disciples must have felt when something triggered Jesus to get up from the table, tie a towel around his waist, and then begin to wash the disciples' feet. It must have seemed very odd to the disciples, but they were always surprised by Jesus, what he would do, what he would say. And of course, Peter said, "You will never wash my feet, Lord." And I think that would have been my first reaction as well. It's like, oh no, don't know. But it was so wise of Jesus to pick that way of showing the disciples how to love one another. If Jesus had just wanted to clean their feet, he could have dumped a bucket of water on them and patted them dry. But he was, in a very simple way, showing us how we are to behave, how we are to love one another. No partiality. It has to extend to every person, not just the people that we know. We are to humble ourselves. We are to be servants to the other. That was, I think, Jesus's quote-unquote bottom line message for the disciples. He knew he was going to die the next day. He knew what was coming when they left that chamber. And I think that he wanted very much to be close to his disciples. And I thought, in addition to teaching the disciples a lesson, it was also just wanting to get close to them. Foot washing is kind of an intimate sort of thing, isn't it? A lot of people are funny about that. It's just a little uncomfortable, you know. And I think that Jesus wanted that intimacy, just to be able to touch his disciples, cradle their feet in his hands and wash them and then dry them. You know, it's almost like preparing them for a new journey, perhaps. We'll never know. But it is so beautiful a way for Jesus to teach us what I think was his bottom line and was his disciples' bottom line, which is love one another as I have loved you. This was not new to them, but it showed them how great their love was to be as servant to master. Be humble. Reach out to everyone. I think we're getting great examples of this, of course, in the world today. All the dear people in healthcare on the front lines dealing with people so sick. There is such great suffering, but they are serving everyone, knowing they could die, but they are serving everyone. And I think there is a great lesson for us. Do you see the love? Now, they might not all feel the love. They might not feel very emotional about everything they're doing, but they are acting out of love as Jesus has told us to love. Love everyone, not just the few you like. Love everyone. Find me in them. Humble yourselves. Do what I do. A most beautiful ritual. I was thinking also about our service at Trinity and how on Maundy Thursday we would strip the altar. We would, take away the fair linens and the candles and the altar book and stand, and even the Eucharist we would remove from the ombre and set aside in repose. And in my mind's eye, I saw myself, oh, don't take that. Oh, not that. Don't take that. I wasn't ready to picture the desolation in the church once we have performed these rituals and turned the church into a darker place in preparation for the Good Friday service. And I think that shows me how much I long for the service, how much I long for Eucharist, how much I long to be together with you all. It will come. It will come. I don't know what God is going to tell us about this time. Are we going to be closer together for it? Are we going to find new ways to connect that do warm the heart? Will we all be first-line responders in whatever we're doing to give everything of ourselves for the good of another? I think it remains to be seen how the church, we are the church, will be changed by our solitude together. But it is good now. We continue to pray and watch what we can on the videos and go forward and be church. We'll be all right. The Lord is with us. Tomorrow, as you know, is Good Friday, and I will be coming to you around 7 p.m. for that service. Just want you to know that I'll be here for that, and we will go through that together. It will be very different from what we're used to, but it will be a time of reflection. So thank you for sticking with me if you've made it this far. Take good care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.